The interpretation of narratives is to some extent subjective, because everyone can experience art differently. At the same time, using literary analysis, we can still explain the most reasonable meanings that the artist meant to convey or that the audience is likely to understand. To understand themes of any work of art, however, spoilers are involved. Heavy spoilers. So consider this your spoiler warning. A Plague Tale: Innocence, the stealth action adventure game by Asobo Studio, is a game whose mechanics are implemented in a relaxed way, with the game focusing on storytelling over gameplay.
I can smell something cooking. Is it fair?
It doesn't sound like a fair.
The story of Amicia and her relationship to her brother Hugo becomes the focal point of the story, emphasized more than any plot points or even the setting itself. It is through the game's relationships that the themes of the game are developed the most. Throughout this video, we are going to explore said themes and answer the question, in this tale, what can Amicia and Hugo learn from the plague as they lose their innocence? The first theme for today's video on the themes of A Plague Tale: Innocence is that of losing innocence due to loss. Throughout the game, there are many examples of children losing their innocence as they are forced to come to grips with deep emotional losses. Early in the game, Amicia and Hugo are forced to confront the fact that they have lost their home, their father, and as far as they know, their mother. Without a parent or guardian, they are forced to seek help from strangers and the last bit of guidance their mother gave them, to seek help from Laurentius. When they do find Laurentius, they lose him quickly to the rats as well. While they did not know Laurentius very well, Lucas, the alchemy apprentice, is devastated from losing his master and must learn to mature without his teacher's guidance. As the children meet Roderick, Roderick has lost his father due to the Grand Inquisitor's men, who accidentally killed him while torturing him.
Do not commit the same mistake you made with his father.
Later on, it is possible for Roderick to learn that his home, his parents' forge, was burned down as well. Finally, Melly must also face loss when she loses her brother Arthur to Nicholas at the chateau. All of the children in the game must lose their innocence and learn through loss, something that is hinted at by the preacher in Ecclesiastes. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for this is the end of all mankind, and the living will lay it to heart. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 2. Just like how the preacher says that people learn from losing loved ones, so Amicia, Hugo, Lucas, Roderick, and Melly must grow up more by losing their loved ones and remembering them. This is not the only way they are forced to grow, however. As they escape the plague and the Inquisition, they lose their innocence about truth and lies, which is connected to our second theme. Our second theme for today's video on losing innocence in A Plague Tale: Innocence is that of losing innocence through truths and lies, something that is shown multiple times throughout the game. Even Amicia, who is a teenager, has a relatively simplistic view of truth and lies. For example, early in the game, in a moment of conflict, when Hugo throws a tantrum demanding to return to their mother, Amicia yells at her young brother that their mother is dead, a truth he is clearly not ready for. I am not saying that she should not have told him the truth, only that she should not have done it at that moment or in that way. Her harsh truth causes Hugo to run away. Later, Amicia is again portrayed in a somewhat naive way. Upset that her mother Beatrice never told Amicia about her alchemical secrets or her secret laboratory. Amicia is upset that she did not know about her mother's secret life. However, Lucas says that he would have done the same in terms of keeping secrets to protect his family. A third moment dealing with lies and truth is a significant plot development. When Arthur tells her that their mother is still alive, Amicia tells all the other children not to tell Hugo.
And what will we say when he wants to see her? Tell him nothing, all right?
And she lies to him about her still being alive, afraid that he will want to go to her. This causes Hugo to be angry at Amicia and run away again, this time for telling a lie instead of telling the truth. Amicia seems to know that she should not have done that because she has bad dreams about how she lied to Hugo and how it became the source of contention.
You lied to me!
In fact, it is so much a source of contention that Hugo is persuaded to work with the Inquisition to attack the chateau until Amicia apologizes, when Hugo eventually forgives her.
Please! You lied to me!
Hugo seems to learn and understand why Amicia lied to him. In the Bible, the book of Ephesians addresses the idea of not being deceived by lies and not lying, while also learning to properly handle the truth.
That's not true, but it doesn't matter.
So that we may no longer be children, tossed to and fro by the waves and carried about by every wind of doctrine, by human cunning, by craftiness in deceitful schemes. Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into Him who is the head, into Christ, from whom the whole body, joined and held together by every joint with which it is equipped, when each part is working properly, makes the body grow so that it builds itself up in love. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 14 to 16. Like the Apostle Paul discusses, Amicia and Hugo learn a lot about how to speak truth and lies, losing their innocence in this manner. Even more than lies, though, the thing that really causes the children to lose their innocence is violence, which is connected to our third theme.
Do you do that a lot?
No, but I'm starting to like it.
Our third theme for this video on A Plague Tale Innocence's themes of losing innocence is that of losing innocence when forced to use violence. This theme begins to be developed quite early, when Amicia is forced to kill 2 people in succession in order to save her brother. Although she is shocked, she has little time to process it, other than to pray to the Lord for forgiveness.
Forgive me for the evil I have just committed.
In later instances, Amicia kills more and more people who are after them.
Hey, what are you doing? Stop!
And in one instance, Amicia may herd rats towards a soldier in their path, killing him if she doesn't figure out a way to save him.
This way!
Amicia is slowly desensitized to the killing, and in fact, when Hugo is captured the first time, Amicia's bloodthirstiness starts to show.
Do you want some more? I still have some.
Later, in Amicia's dream, she will kill anyone and everyone to save Hugo.
I'll kill you again if I have to! I'll kill all of you!
The other children are rather similar as well. Roderick, having lost his father, is prepared to kill some of the soldiers who captured them.
I've been wanting to do this for 2 days!
Similarly, Melly, after losing Arthur, also becomes bloodthirsty, demanding vengeance for her brother.
Please.
I'll kill them all!
The most obvious example of loss of innocence, though, is Hugo, who loses his innocence when he begins to command the rats to kill others. He is initially uncomfortable with doing this, but the Inquisition forces Hugo to learn how to use his rats for killing when the Grand Inquisitor sends his men to kill his mother. To protect his mother, Hugo uses the rats to kill the soldiers, and he agrees to work with the Inquisition to attack the chateau.
I have complete faith in you. We shall succeed.
At the chateau, however, he reconciles with his sister and instead uses the rats to kill Nicholas in order to save her. Eventually, the children decide to take the fight to the Grand Inquisitor, where Hugo must use his power over the rats to battle the Inquisitor, fighting for everyone. In the Bible, the idea of learning to fight and killing by necessity is captured in Psalm 144. Blessed be the Lord my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. Psalm 144, verse 1. Just as King David learns to fight with a sling, Amicia loses her innocence to violence with a sling as well. And in fact, all the children, with the possible exception of Lucas, lose their innocence to violence and kill soldiers by necessity. It's not just the violence, however, that the children learn. The children also learn to be selfless, which is related to our final theme for this video. Our final theme for A Plague Tale Innocence is that of losing your innocence through selfless sacrifice. Throughout the game, the Grand Inquisitor Vitalis often claims to be a savior or wants to be a savior, to save France from the plague, the one who will cure them from the bite. But in essence, he is the opposite of a savior. Although he claims to have suffered for others, his suffering is the result of already having the plague and desperately trying to survive it.
You are a vile heretic driven mad by power.
Instead of selflessly suffering or sacrificing to save others, he sacrifices others for his own power, using his congregation to feed his special rats. In contrast, many of the children selflessly risk their lives to help each other. When Hugo was captured, Melly and Arthur sneak in to help save Hugo, and Melly even reveals the location of their hideout and shares it with Amicia and Hugo, even if they thought it was for a reward. More heroically, Roderick sacrifices himself to protect Amicia and Hugo in their attempt to reach the cathedral, by pushing a cart to serve as cover for them, one of the most touching moments in the game.
We'll get you out!
I'm sorry.
Amicia and Hugo learn from this moment when Roderick is unable to continue on. The most obvious example, however, is that of Hugo. The narrative establishes early on that the prima macula gives Hugo significant headaches. There are several moments in the game when he is unable to continue running from the Inquisition due to the pain that he feels. Later, when he discovers he can control the rats, Hugo must endure the headaches to use his powers to help his mother and later his friends.
The one that makes my head hurt.
Don't try to ignore it. Embrace it completely.
This culminates in the grand showdown between the de Rune siblings and the Grand Inquisitor, where Amicia must risk her life to put herself in a position where she can kill the Grand Inquisitor to save her friends and all of France. The Bible also discusses the idea of growing and maturing through selflessness, while equating selfishness with immaturity. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up my childish ways. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 to 11. Just like how the Apostle Paul encourages focus on eternal things like selfless love over worldly temporary things like power, the children of Innocence, Amicia, Hugo, Melee, and Roderick, learn to selflessly help others even as the Grand Inquisitor sacrifices others selfishly for occult power. A Plague Tale Innocence, as its title may suggest, has many themes of losing innocence through various ways. In this video, we looked at how the protagonists, Amicia and Hugo, as well as their friends, Lucas, Melly, Arthur, and Roderick, all slowly lose their childlike innocence and grow to face harsh reality through experiences like loss, truth and lies, violence, and even selfless sacrifice. Despite Amicia and Beatrice's best efforts, Hugo is exposed to many such traumatic incidents which force him to grow quickly. The end of the story, however, leaves us with the de Rune siblings having a brief respite, a short return to childlike innocence in the form of some childish games, which is a good thing for them.
There's a little fair down the street. Go take a look.
A fair? A real fair? I've never seen a fair before.
Hugo, Lucas is waiting for us.
I haven't decided if I will play the sequel Requiem, but I hope you enjoyed this look at the themes of losing innocence. That's all I have for you in this video. Bless you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If this video blessed you in some way, please consider watching some of my other videos, subscribing, sharing the video with your friends, or sharing with me some of your thoughts in the comments below.